Manchester United 3, West Ham United 1. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup, Kenny. For a brief second, it looked like we were going to get extra time and penalties, and then suddenly, old school Manchester United, bing, bang, boom, winners, done. No problem. Easy. 3-1, right? No problem at all.
No, big problems. Never mind, no problems at all. Big problems. Going into the game with six changes from the weekend, which was natural. And we was playing a team that had only had one defeat in 6, and it showed, because the first half I thought we was very poor. And I'll start with McTominay. McTominay, he didn't seem to want the ball to pick the ball up from De Gea or from Lindelof or Maguire. And again, in the first 10 minutes, we looked shaky at the back simply because we'd nobody to collect the ball. Now, when he turned round and he was running forward with the ball, it was going through the lines, it seemed a lot better. But we had no forward momentum. And to refer to West Ham came and they gave us a good, especially in the first half, I thought they were very good. My concern in the first half was, we know that young Garnacho is superb, but he's superb when players breaking up. When the game is stretched, he is your man. However, when he starts the game, and we've seen it every time he started, because in the first half, most teams are playing cautious football, so they're playing 2 banks of 4, etc., etc. Garnacho struggles to break through. He struggles to break through because he's got 2 banks in front of him. So he's coming inside, he's doing this, and he's just not the same player. He's just not the same player. We had very little forward momentum. You were over on the other side with Anthony. Anthony, every time he got the ball, he wanted to shoot. I don't have a problem with that. But the concern was, when Anthony was cutting inside and shooting with his left foot, there was no movement for him because he must have been under orders to shoot. But if you're shooting from that distance, you have to have that keeper make a save. The keeper's got to make a save. And the 2 or 3 shots he had in the first half were wayward. They were over the top. So we had very, very little forward momentum. I thought Lindelof had a good first half. I did. But I was really disappointed in Dalot. Dalot, to me, tonight, seemed to have lost a little bit of his confidence or whatever. But Garnacho kept going, and he kept him on, and he kept him on. So we come to the second half. We knew McTominay was coming off because
definitely
both him and Maguire.
100%. Yeah,
we just knew. Both him and Maguire had got poor bookings in the first half. They got bookings on virtually on the halfway line. Well, it's the first half. You've got a central defender and your central midfield player. You can't afford for them to be booked in the first half because they're the people that have got to put the foot in. So I think that was part of his thinking as well. He knew that we had no progression. Casemiro comes on. Casemiro, first 5 minutes was scrappy. 5 minutes after Casemiro at his best, he's running forward, and all of a sudden we gain momentum. They all stop on the 3 of them stop when they all thought the ball had gone out. The lad didn't stop, passing inside 1-0. And at 1-0, they should have scored again. They had a couple of great chances.
Straight after, didn't they? They had a ball that came in.
Across.
Yeah, exactly. And if they'd have gambled, it'd have been a tap, and you're thinking 2-0, that's the problem.
2-0 is a different game. So then what happens? All of a sudden, Bruno then is more progressive. Casemiro is more progressive. We're moving forward. Casemiro, very unlucky not to get the goal from a great... Bruno's crossing tonight, I thought, was excellent. His crossing, particularly in the second half, all of a sudden, we see young Garnacho. Because the game's now getting spread. The game is still only 1-0, but the game's getting spread. You can see Garnacho, he's more space. He's taking him on down the left, and it's creating. I thought Vegas was tardy all game. He hardly put a foot wrong, that lad. He was, in the first half, he was collecting the ball. He was laying it off. He looked fine. He looked good. And I think he'll have got himself an assist for the Fred goal at the end because he chased it into press, and I think he just got his foot and passed it back. So when we get the first goal, obviously from the corner, which was very lucky, we really had some proper momentum then. We had proper momentum. Rashford comes on, and all of a sudden they fall. They just fell to pieces, West Ham. The second goal, Garnacho, superb. Absolutely superb. The Brilliant. Space that he had was 10 times more space in the second half than what he had in the first half. I'm just assuming that Ten Hag thought that was going to happen because otherwise he could have been substituted for Sancho. He could have easily been substituted after the first half.
Wasn't it? Because, like you said, we knew that. I mean, he definitely had intent. I'm going to put Casemiro on at halftime. That's a quick change. But you noticed the moment we went 1-0 down, he was like, Rashford, you get on. Martinez.
Exactly.
Well, he was so proactive because he thought, I'm not wasting any more time. I've seen enough.
No,
I maybe gave him too much the benefit of the doubt, and
it's
I
enough at half time. It's enough at half time bringing McTominay off because, and I don't care what anybody says, they keep raving about Ras. Ras just reminds me of McTominay. I thought they both laboured. They're not progressive. They're not forward thinking or whatever. They look good putting the old tackling or whatever. But Ras is not £100 million midfield player. I hope we don't get it.
No,
Sabitzer tonight, I thought Sabitzer was tidy. However, he doesn't have that same interaction as what Fred has. Fred, you get far more from him. You get far more from Fred than Sabitzer. Sabitzer didn't do anything wrong, just didn't do enough of it. That was my take on it.
And you can just see the drop off, can't you? Like I said, Casemiro, he's the key. Because if you felt like if Sabitzer's playing alongside Casemiro, it might be a bit different. But when he's alongside McTominay, he's got even more to do, doesn't he? It's not even just do simple things, right? It's do everything, and he can't do everything.
You can't do everything. So you start doing worldies and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You start chasing the game when you shouldn't be chasing the game. I thought Lindelof was unlucky to get taken off because I thought Lindelof was tidy. I thought in the second half, young Malacia was excellent. Excellent in the second half, Malacia. I thought he put a lot of energy in. He was making lots of runs. There was lots of interchanges with him and Garnacho. I just thought we was a different team, particularly when we started progressing the ball forward. That was Casemiro and Bruno. They was run, and they never stopped. Vegas was supporting, holding the ball, laying people off. Rashford didn't do much when he came on, but what he did, he frightened them and he occupied two of their defenders. So he did his job in occupying their defenders. But at the end of the day, it's Man United and we're in the next round, and that's all what matters. That's all. You can't be, you can't play well every game. You can't control every game. I felt we had no control at all on that game. I didn't think at any time in the game we controlled it. I thought West Ham did, but they didn't capitalise on it. We just couldn't.
It's classic United, really, isn't it? It's classic United of maybe not playing particularly well, but the opposition, and this was the key thing under Sir Alex, wasn't it? The opposition knew come 80 minutes, 85 minutes, they knew they're not out of this. They'll get a chance. They'll do something. And it plays in their head over and over. And almost it creates the chance for you almost. And that's essentially what happened is they played themselves out of a game and we're clinical, more clinical than we have been at times this season. And we take our chances and the pressure, the Stretford end, all of that sort of piles into it and we get the win. I just saw as well.
Scored 3 goals again.
Exactly, 3 goals.
We've scored 3 goals again. And we've scored the last goal 4 minutes into injury time.
Yeah.
So what that tells you is once we get that momentum, we keep that momentum. We didn't look to shore up and say, right, we'll sit back now or whatever. We carried on because we knew we had them. We knew we had them. But I thought, I said second half, Casemiro, class, absolute class. He was a little bit wasteful when he first come on, but that progression, and he was screaming from the ball, from Maguire, give me the ball, give me the ball. You could see him, give me the ball. You didn't get that with McTominay. McTominay didn't want the ball. Didn't want the ball to take. It did not want when De Gea was looking to pass or Maguire or Lindelof was looking to pass. He wasn't coming short to take that ball and progress it. And that I was just
saying because we were chatting about this before we start recording this, before we wrap things up, is that I've just seen that Man United by all accounts have got Fulham at home in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, another home tie. Wow. And we were chatting before we started recording this, going a bit like with the Carabao Cup, and it's kind of the same with the FA Cup at the moment. Things are just opening up, and we talk about how many games and what you prioritize, but when things open up for you, you've got to take advantage, and that's what we've got to do.
Excellent. Yeah, any home tie. I'd take City at home. At home. You take anybody at home. Definitely. But no, like I say, let's be positive now. Let's go and show the Scousers how it's done. Definitely.
100%.
No, I do. I'm really Liverpool are poor. Last week, they only had 2 players under the age of 28 on the pitch and in the squad. And nothing. right? And they were very, very poor. If we put our best team out, and if we, like I said, we start with Casemiro, we start with Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, they won't score against us. They won't score against us. I'm really, really confident. I'm really confident. And they won't. What Klopp won't do, what Ten Hag will do. Ten Hag will play a team to counter what's happening on the day. Klopp plays one way. He plays a high line. High line, and if he allows his backs, his left back Robertson and the other fellow on the other side, Trent Alexander, to keep pushing forward, Garnacho will crucify him. Rashford will crucify him. They will, definitely, because they do not have the pace. Liverpool do not have the pace in the middle or definitely at the back, without a doubt. So I think there's a lots of mistakes in their defending. They'll always get a goal because you've got Salah or whatever. And I'm not over impressed with Gakpo, but I honestly believe that we're going to Anfield and we're going to win on Sunday. I do, definitely.
There you go, guys. We're going to go to Anfield and win on Sunday, just as we won this evening. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Let us know your thoughts on today's results in the comment section below, and we'll be back very, very soon. We're through to the next round. Come on.
Get in.